All right, everyone, welcome back to the channel. Back out in the garage here again. Just changing it up a little bit here. What we're doing here today is it's going to be out with the old for a bit and in with the new. So we'll be working on this little Chevy truck right here. That's that baby's that's a 2014. It's a friend of mine's truck. Yeah, so he's been gathering parts for a while, and he's had them for a little while. So I've been meaning to get to this truck and get this stuff on there, and it's gonna make it cool for sure. He's got some cool stuff lined up for that. So first things first, I got to get this this old car out of here temporarily. We'll roll that truck over, get it on the lift. Okay, listen up, everyone. Got this truck up in the air. You could notice that I just went ahead and took all the wheels off too. That might give an indication into what's going on here, but I'll tell you. So what this fellow went and did and collected was some monster brake kit for the front. Well, some matching for the back as well. But these giant Corvette calipers and these giant rotors here. So he also grabbed some. Lay this baby down. He also grabbed some new knuckles and some upper tubular A-arms, amongst some other stuff. This stuff's so big it doesn't even fit on my bench. But anyways, so I laid some of this out just to get ready here and see what we're dealing with. So these babies are big old 6-piston calipers, and these back ones, matching set for the rear. Those are 4-piston calipers. We'll go ahead and start disassembling the ones that are on here and get ready to throw that new stuff on. I'll start by, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hang with some zip ties. I'll hang the brake caliper, this one back, just so I don't have brake fluid leaking while I switch everything over. And I'll just kind of hang it back out of the way. And because I got to change this upper arm. Now, it's looking like, well, two things I'm going to do. So it's quite adjustable. So I'm going to match it to this one absolutely as close as I can. I mean, obviously this is going to have to go to alignment shop after, and that. But I'll match it to this one absolutely as close as I can, and I'll mark the adjustment tabs just with a Sharpie or something. I'll just give it a little mark just so I don't muck it up and knock them out of alignment too much. And that'll all change a little bit later, anyways. But at least he only lives a couple miles away, so it's not a big deal. But at least just for his drive home and whatever else, it's as close as it can be. Yikes. That was bigger than I thought they were. But anyways, here we go. Bought this little fella not long ago, but I always forget to use it. Pretty handy though. All right, I already got a pickle. It's all good. I just have to take my hose bracket just so I can hang it down, and then I'll hang it off my zip tie, probably off the sway bar. I think it'll be just fine out of my way. All right, that should be good. This guy should come on. There we go. And now it sounds like with the new one, it ditches the dust cover, and it also comes with a new wheel bearing. So I'm not going to bother separating this. This will all come out basically in one piece. So I'll go ahead and unhook my ABS cable, and then I'll start busting these joints apart. Okay, so I have to reuse this tie rod. So I don't really want to use, I'll try to avoid using my pickle fork. I'll show you on the top one. I can show you the pickle fork because that one's getting replaced, but they tend to kind of wreck the little boot. But so anyways, I put a little tension on it, And then if you whack it, it should just pop loose, just like that. So do that also on these upper and lowers. You can, it's no problem at all. The lower I will for sure. That upper, it doesn't matter too much because like I said, I don't think that's getting, well, that's definitely not getting reused, but either way, that works pretty good. So I'll get these off and we'll pop these apart and this will go and then we can get this arm out of here. There we go. So I just loosely put the nut on there so that it doesn't, this whole mechanism don't just come crashing down. So I try to pop this one apart here now. All right, so we're ready. I did give that one a whack and it popped. So we'll get this baby off and we should have that. We'll have that knuckle out of there. Okay, there we go. It's looking good. We got lots of room now. And this truck is not that old. And it's been kept relatively clean. And I don't think it's really been winter driven much or anything ever either. So I'm hoping all them factors makes it easy to get these apart and get this upper A-arm out of here. My only dilemma is I'm looking here. I think I might have to move this coil over. Might have to take it right out of there to allow me to get these bolts because they go towards the middle. So to do that, obviously, just these two at the bottom, and then it looks like I've never taken one off before, but it's looking pretty simple. There's just 3 in the top, and then hopefully we can just kind of drop that fella down out the bottom here, and then we got even more room. Then this should make this job pretty easy. Just getting this out is going to be something, but not a big deal. So let's see. Maybe I have, yeah, I got the ratchet wrench. Should do the trick here. Might not have to go up inside. I was talking to someone the other day too. These trucks got this fiber inner fender wells now. Obviously for noise, rocks and stuff. They obviously they're awesome. I was just always concerned about the durability, but I don't think that's an issue either. I've seen some of these trucks that are work trucks that are out in the forest or out in the oil field, whatever, bourgeois down these, rough, dirty roads their whole life, and 300,000-400,000 kilometers on them, and they're still durable and intact. So I don't know. I think everyone seems to be doing it. Seems like not a terrible idea. So there's just I use the top of these bolts to just put these wire hangers on. So I just got to pop them off. And then once they're off, there he is. I can reach in there also and undo those 2. There's 2 and the last one. Yep, we're wiggling. That's a good sign. It's gonna be easy. Yeah, these things, if anyone's working, even if you're not working on this stuff a bunch, these ratchets are awesome. Make your life a lot easier sometimes. Okay, I'll get my bar. We'll just put a little leverage on that feller there. And that's that. I can blast these apart, but I am going to kind of just use a Sharpie to mark the camber for adjusting the, I guess they adjust the cast too, depending on how you do it. But anyways, that's up to the wheel alignment shop. But I'll give them a fighting chance just by putting this back, where it should be. So that should get it brutally close anyway. So now let's see if we can get them babies off. that makes me happy. This comes apart easy. I don't know how hard it's going to be to get the, I got the marks on there, so we'll get it back to the right, but I think this is going to come out easy also, so looking good. All right, so now what I got to do is just go make that adjustable A-arm match this one the best I can, distance-wise. I'll go to the center of the ball plan is, you know, maybe you got to stick a bolt, one of them bolts at the point, over from the center of the hole. I'll figure it out, but I'll make those match this as best I can, and then we'll start putting it back together. Okay, everyone, so what I've decided to do, you want to have these adjustments. Now, you're not going to be able to adjust them after. They're preset. So, the dilemma I'm having is trying to measure to get them as close as I can, because you can also see that this is much thicker. The distance is different. It's all kind of weird. And you can't just measure to the center because this moves. Well, this one's new, so it's really tight, but it moves any which way you want it, so you can't really do that. That might get you close, but anyways, what I've decided to do is I put the new knuckle on, just got it sitting in the bottom, and I got this rod here, the tie rod to hold it. I'm going to put the old one in, line my marks up. I'm not going to bolt it in or nothing, and then I'm going to check the angle of this, and then I'm going to do it with the new one, and we'll see, we'll try to match that angle. And then the rest of the adjustability will be done on your adjustments here. But at least that'll get me. That's the plan, anyways. At least that'll get me close. So I'll throw the old one in temporarily, just quick. Line up my marks, get kind of an angle measurement, and we'll go from there. That's already set. Yeah, and that'll decide. But I'll turn them to get them to my marks. This wrench will work. There. So that's kind of the factory camber. So I'll just get my angle. I'll get my angle, my dial, and see what this number says, and hopefully we can match the new one too. Basically, all it is numbers. It picks a little pendulum, and then I'm going to use this to set where I want it. Okay, I think I'm happy with that, so I'll hang on to this. I think that's, yep, the only wiggling is up here, so we're good. Let me double check. It is a smidge. I'm gonna roll them in one, and we'll see how that looks. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. So, now that being said, I can pretty much lock these down because they're, put them on the oral marks. So I can cinch them babies back down. I can tighten these, and I can start tightening all the joints for good and start putting the good stuff on. So we got the new wheel bearing. Some new bolts. Yeah, I'm just going to put that guy to hold it. So this A-arm is not going to have the clip, so I'll have to see what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll zip tie and stuff, but I am going to get a little blue Loctite to put on these, and so I don't want these bad boys falling out. These are going into the steel part of the wheel bearing anyway. Really nothing to do with the aluminum. Okay, I did forget to mention, I did go ahead and torque. I Googled it. Everything says 130 foot-pounds for those three wheel bearing bolts. So went ahead and torqued them. We're all locked down. I'll route this. There is a hole here. Maybe steal the tab off of the other assembly. Yeah, and then I can route it up and get it plugged in and stuff. So hopefully should all go pretty straightforward. Okay, everyone, that's one side almost whipped. I'm gonna go ahead and all I got left to do is put the brake pads in. Came with new brake lines as well, so I'm gonna swap that as well. And then when that happens, that'll get rid of course, that'll get rid of the old caliper. But anyways, I'm gonna wait to do that because I'm gonna go ahead and get the other side swapped out till it's to the same stage this is, and then I can go ahead and throw the brake pads in. I'll show you guys that. I'm not 100% sure how to do that, but I think it's pretty straightforward. There's a kit and there's clips and whatnot, just like any set of brake pads. They're just a little fancier with the top loaders with the pins and stuff. Anyways, we'll figure it out. So then, because once I get the other side done, I can go ahead and do the brake lines. That way I'm not cracking the system open. Well, I still kind of doing it twice, but I'm doing it all at the same time. And then we'll get them bled off and stuff. And I'll also wait to do that, of course, until we get this back one swapped out as well too. There's new calipers, the little Corvette calipers for back here. So yeah, we're looking good. But this other side, I'll go ahead and whip that up. It's exact same process. It's looking good. It's looking real good. Once these are all tied up and out of the way and nice, all that stuff's gone, it'll look real good. And like I said, I imagine it'll work real good as well. So it's time to put the brake pads in. I'll put the brake pads in, and then I just got to do the line and stuff later. But we'll get everything tidied up, especially, like I said, the lines and stuff in the back. And then we can just kind of do all the brake fluidy stuff at once. It's pretty cool, actually, how they go. My my little truck there with it's got wheelwood brakes, and they do the same thing. I don't know. They load through the top. It makes it real easy to change the brakes because you just got to pull these pins and stuff. These ones are different. They have kind of like, that truck has just 2 bolts to kind of that go through the pads, but this one has this bolt and then a couple little clips, but same idea. All right, I grabbed the hardware as well. Then these pads are, from what I gathered, there's no indications of any kinds as to which one's inside, which one's out. And I've looked them over very carefully. They're totally symmetrical. So that's that. You just slide them babies in. Wiggle jiggle. And you can install your bolt that holds the caliper together. Like that. Comes with a new bolt with some new, looks like a little bit of Loctite on it. I'll cinch that down in a minute. And then you can take a little pin. That one kind of goes through the pads. You can see that, kind of locates them. Now they got little, I don't know if you guys can see that, just a little spring clip. So basically you have to just, I'll go with my hammer, but just tap them in. They lock. If you got to change brakes or something, you can tap them out after. But that's it. So that baby's bottomed out. Hey everyone, what's going on today? So back out here working on this little black Chevy. I'm going to focus on working on this back end. What I'm going to do first is I did grab the parts and kind of set them out. Remember I mentioned he wants it a little bit lower in the back, and I did measure. Yeah, those are 3/4 inch. So it's going to be 3/4 inches lower. And it's so he sent some new bolts and stuff. So that's what we're going to do. And this is sprung under, so it's no big deal. I'm going to go ahead and blast these all loose. And then I'll just lower it down onto my tall jack stands. And then that'll just lift it a bit. We'll slip that spacer in, throw the new stuff on, cinch her all back down. So yeah, so that's the plan. And then maybe we'll get to work on those back brakes to get them tuned up as well. I'll go ahead and whip these off, and then I'll probably get my jack stand set up there. Okay, now, not awesome. It's just rolling a bit. I just got to figure out a nice way to keep that from rolling. All right. What I think I'm going to do is I'll just put a tie strap over the pinion of the differential, and then there's that big cross member. That'll just keep it from tilting, I think. Yeah, that's going to work good. There. That might be just enough. Might be just enough to get them in there. I don't know if that'll get edited in anyways, but I kind of stood there a little baffled for a bit, but just trying to think what to do. So the dilemma here is, so he's got the this nice, you can see this nice kit, flip kit and stuff, to get it lowered. Now, whoever designed that kit, what they decided was that as it lowered, the differential is going to move ahead a certain amount of distance, and they figured that out. And then, so what they did to compensate for that, when they made these, you can see up in there that hole is not centered in that block. It should be over here technically. Well, no, it shouldn't be. It should be here. But if this was its original configuration, it would have been back here. So now, so what's happening is these little drop blocks, the hole is centered in them. So then it offsets it forward, and that's not real nice. It has a possibility to, well, it's just not under here squarely, not underneath the block squarely, where the U-bolts will pull nice and even and solid. So he did have another option for blocks, what I have here. So to modify, right? So what you can do is, like, you can't do it with this one because it's got these big holes in it, and that pin kind of lines up with one of them holes, so you can't really do the pin appropriately. So then what you could do is you could mark it out real good, drill a new hole and make a pin, and then you'll have the hole straight through, and that'll just move this block to the appropriate spot. To basically, you just be lining up that drop block and the leaf spring, and then that'll just make it line up and drop it correctly. So we'll see. I'm thinking about it. We'll see what I'm going to do here. Yeah, because like I said, I won't be changing where that is located. I'll just be altering the block to be square underneath it is all. That's all. So, but anyways, I can't do the aluminum because it's got the holes in it. But this one, it's steel. A guy can drill it and do what we got to do to it. So I'm going to go measure. And basically what I need, and it's no big deal, is I need this hole and this pin to be right about there. So I'm just going to go measure. I did measure. I think this one's 5 inches, give or take a smidge. Yeah, it is. It's 5 inches. Yep. So it's 5 inches. I just got to need to decide how long, because if you're going to do this, you may as well get it nice and square underneath. Keep in mind, I'm not changing the location of nothing. It's going to be the exact same thing as this. It does not matter. It's just this will be under the whole block, not partially under, like I showed you guys on the other side. So I just got to drill a hole, this size of a hole, directly through the whole thing, pin the one side to locate it, and then we're good. And you don't even, I'll weld it in. I'll just give it a tack in and stuff, but literally the axle pin will push on that pin, and that pin will push up into that block, and it won't go nowhere. So, but anyways, so that's what I'm going to do. All right, everyone, I just went ahead and modified these babies. So basically all I did is I drilled a hole straight through. So now technically you got 2 in the back, but that's okay. I drilled a hole straight through that. So that's still gonna, obviously now, that's still gonna line up with your axle stub and your block, your drop block. So now I'll show you guys. I'll get these plugged in there. It's getting later, but I'll try to get these in and show you guys. See, here's the other one. See how you got that gap because it's offset? Had to go forward. Well, now we got this fella. So he fits that now, right? So I'll throw the other one in and we'll cinch them down. I just basically went ahead and tightened up the U-bolts, but looking good. It'll be good now. That the way it was, you know, like I was talking to Lee, the guy who owns the truck. We're talking about it. It'd probably be fine, but it'd always be in the back of your mind, that block not quite being fully under there. So this is better. This will be good, guaranteed. So anyway, so like I said, that's it for tonight. I'll be back out here tomorrow working on probably the back brakes. And then we can probably start bleeding these calipers and stuff. So anyways, see you guys tomorrow. Okay, everyone. So yeah, so back on this little truck here, we're gonna get this baby finished up hopefully soon here. But today we're gonna get these back brakes swapped out. Now it should be pretty straightforward, other than it's my understanding that sounds like you might have to trim the dust shield a little to fit those calipers. But we'll see that when the time comes. But first things first, I'll get these. I'll do the same thing. I'll get these calipers busted loose and just hang them somewhere out of the way for now, so I'm not losing fluid while I do the swap. And I'll get the new rotors and get everything mounted up. And then I think it's all that's left. Oh, so there's a couple things. All that's left then is to get all these lines hooked up and get it bled off. And then there is so there's this thing I'll throw in quick too. This shouldn't take too long, but essentially this thing controls the flow for the cooler, so that it lets the transmission run. In this case, it lets it run just a little cooler than normal. So helps with temps in there and stuff. So we'll throw that in a bit too. Again, that shouldn't be no big deal. Hopefully it'll just be one of the things. Hope you don't lose a ton of fluid or something just to make a mess. But again, I'll go ahead and get that stuff tore off. I guess that was just a little ambitious of my electric ratchet there, but yeah, it's the glue they put on them, some sort of Loctite, but it's no problem at all. So this one, I'm just going to set it right there. And then these babies should just wiggle off, and that's that. So then I think it's just a matter of, I'll get the brackets mounted and the new discs, and I think we got to center the caliper. The front ones, I should mention too, they were done. The guy that owns this truck, he spent the time and got that caliper nice and centered and stuff, shimmed it and whatnot. So we'll just double check these back ones, make sure they're good, and we should be good. And then we'll see how much we got to trim this baby. Hopefully not too much, but if we have to trim it a bit, it's no big deal also. So we'll get some brackets and we'll get going here. Okay, so I think I got this figured. So these are the brackets. I think what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and put it in, and then I'll put the disc on, put the caliper on, and just kind of see where everything sits. And then we'll know. Then we know what we got to do. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to trim a little bit there, a little bit there. I'll put the disc on because if I shimmed that bracket out, it'll work, but I have to make sure that jives with that. So I'll get the disc and we'll put it on there and we'll see. I guess we'll go from there. So now, like I said, I got that bracket and I got the caliper, and I can tell already. I got my light here, but I can tell already that is about centered. I mean, I can fine tune, measure it after, but what I do know is for this caliper, because this is so brutally close, so it has to go in is the issue. So to go in, I have to trim the dust shield up here just a little bit, and then I also have to trim the inner ring of the dust ring too, so that this can get right down into the bracket that I've mounted there. So I'll get my little die grinder and we'll try to trim that up the best we can. I'll just get this disc off and show you. So you can see the caliper has to bolt up, flange up against here, but it can't go past this part of the dust shield. There's not enough room. So this is the part that's tricky. This is the part I kind of have to trim back. I also got to trim this just a little bit here, and the one down here as well, just a little bit to sneak that caliper in. So I'll start with that. That way I can, and I'll mark out these, and I'll just go a little bit. This one I might end up having to, I'll take the bracket off. That'll give me more room, but I'll zip disc and stuff with my little die grinder, and then I might end up using a burr a little just to clean it. Because like I said, to get this off, you have to disassemble the park brake, pull the axle, all that, and I think I can get it without doing that. So that's the plan. Basically go straight in. I'm going to start by taking this extra bump off both sides. That's pretty straightforward. And then I have to essentially chop that out and chop that out. And then basically there. And then basically that whole inner ring has to get cleaned up. But yeah, anyways, so I'll get grinding here. I'll just show you guys quick here because it's actually going it's going very well. So basically you can see I had the double, so I just split that. Now I'm left with one little thin piece. So I got to basically cut it down to these nubs right here and here, on account of that's where that thing does bottom out, according to that bracket. I can show you guys that. You can see where how far the bracket goes on, and you see these little divots. The caliper goes right down to that. So basically I had to cut this whole thing right down to them. So I'll mark it out and we'll get that little guy cut out of there, and then we should be close to test fitness again. Okay, I already went ahead and grounded a bit with this burr, and actually it worked a little better than I'd hoped it would, on account of basically all I did was put it against the axle, and that acted like a guide to get the round. I don't know, it worked very well. So happy about that. So yeah, so like I said, I just went along there and just burred it, and I'll buff these up after once I'm good. Once I know I'm good with that caliper. So, well, now's the time to test fit it. Essentially, these get tightened up. You can see now I got the room, but I'll just snug these up, and then the other bolts go into the caliper and hold that. So that's what we'll do. So heck yeah, think we're looking pretty good. I'll bring the bolts just to make sure the bolts go in, and then I can go ahead and just buff these up, and I will try to tape off just a little bit. Just give it a little spritz of paint to cover up the bare metal. And then we're ready, I think. Okay, well, I already know the bolts started and stuff, so I know it's going to be good. So yeah, I think we're looking good. That did go a little easier than I thought it would. It was no big deal. Just because I realized I have to grind that inside spot, and I was just wondering if that was going to be a real pain, and turns out it wasn't. So let's keep going. Okay, you can see I went ahead and just threw a little paint on there, so that's all cleaned up. And I did work on the other side a bit. I went over there and did basically this exact same thing. So now it's ready to get put together too. So that's it. We'll throw this together, and then we can, I think we can hook up brake lines and stuff. But yeah, let's do this. Put a little Loctite on them fellas too, just to make sure they don't come loose. Just a little blue. I'll cinch them down. There. And I'll put the disc on like that. I will throw this on for now. There. that. Lock them little fellas down. There. Take a quick look at that. Yeah, that looks real good. Those calipers look nice. That's essentially it, right? So I can go ahead and load these. Load up the brake pads in there and do that on both sides. And then we can swap these brake lines over. And then that's kind of got this brake job wrapped up once I do that and get them bled off and stuff, right? So we'll go get the brake pads and we'll get them all smashed in there and should be good. Okay, just to show you guys, it's the exact same as the front. So you just slip the disc in or the pad in. I already slid this one in. Then you go ahead and put your pin in. And you have to tap it in. I just want to confirm. See in this one, I think I have to put that through at the same time, which is no big deal. I'm going to tap that guy in, the bottom one, and that'll hold till I do the top. That's that. Then you just give it the squish, that tab, as you push it through. There. Then I'll just tap on that guy, get him going too, and we're done. That's all there is to it. And then hook up them lines. Okay, everyone, we're moving on with this old girl here. Hey, I'm so used to working on old vehicles. I called it old. Well, this is a new truck. It ain't an old truck. Anyways, I went ahead and got the lines. Like I said, I just hooked them up. There you can see I did the front too. Show you guys there. Yeah. So went ahead and just hooked up the lines, got rid of the old calipers. But now I need someone to help me lead these brakes. I'm gonna get someone to help me pump the pedal and stuff. But in the meantime, the last thing I got to do is this guy right here. So essentially, this is the kit, and I was just reading over what the improvements it does and stuff. So it allows the transmission to warm up quicker. It bleeds down the fluid quicker, so you can check your levels quicker. You don't have to wait for it to cool down to check your levels and get false readings and stuff. But I think the main thing is it helps this transmission run a little cooler. So I did kind of open the kit, just kind of pre-assembled just by putting the O-rings and stuff on. But now what I got to do is I'll show you guys here. It's all in this housing right there. So it's pretty easy to get to, which is nice. And we have a new gasket right there. So like I said, pretty easy to get to. That's good. The only thing is it's below the transmission level in the transmission itself. So I just hopefully when I pull this off, I just don't lose a whole bunch of fluid. I'm going to lose some for sure. I'm just hoping I don't lose a whole bunch out of the, probably out of the cooler, right? So, and or maybe, I don't know, maybe the torque a little bit. But anyways, hopefully I don't lose a bunch of fluid. I don't think you're supposed to. So let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and get these lines unhooked. And we'll pull that block off. Once that block's off, if I don't dump a bunch of fluid, we should be good. I mean, if you lose some fluid, it is what it is. Okay, I just popped that baby off quick, and that's it right there. And yeah, no, we did good. It did drip a little. Got that off of there, and that's how much fluid we'll. Oh, you can. I don't know if you can tell, but it's literally just a skift on the bottom of the pan. So, fluid-wise, we're doing good. We'll pop this baby open, replace the guts, and we should be good. Basically, keep it clean. I'm even going to give that end a little wash, make sure there's no dirt in there. All right. And then this is one thing I do need to purchase, but these should work. I got some junky little snap ring pliers, but pull that. Hopefully they work. Got it all broke. Ooh. All right, I found it. That's good. There we go. Now, the thing said, so basically it said that the housing and the snap ring are the only things that'll be reused. So I'll, so we'll empty the guts out of here. Bring, looks like a temperature. This looks like to me like a temperature, almost like a radiator cap. This is obviously temperature sensitive. That's it. That's good. So I'm going to go ahead because it does have a little schmagma around the edge here. Let's go ahead and rinse this out. Okay, so we're good. Now it says to lower this down in there. Guess I could just, there. Then it says to, like I said, I already did put the O-rings on this guy, so make sure they're a little oily so that it's got something to slip. I don't pinch them. There. And then put the ball in there and the spring in there. Then, all right. There we go. Put our snap ring back on and we should be able to reassemble this. Okay, I'll take the new gasket and we'll just go ahead and throw it back in. Barbie came, she helped me, she pumped the pedal for me. We got these brakes bled off. It was super easy on account of the fluid was already there. Just would have been in the front, would have just been them fuel lines and the caliper itself. And in the rear, pretty much just the caliper. So it took no time at all to bleed them off. So this truck is done except for one last piece of the puzzle. I'll show you guys here. We'll go ahead and throw these on, but he's got some new wheels and tires also. So that's the one there. So I'll lay these out. But anyways, some new wheels and tires. So we'll throw them. We'll go ahead and throw them babies on, and we'll get this down, and we'll see what it's going to look like. It's going to look tough, no doubt about it. But anyways, it's always kind of fun to set it down and see what it looks like. So we'll go ahead and throw these tires on, and then we'll show you guys. All right, everyone, we got this sucker done, and I got to say it looks real good. So let me. I even went and changed my clothes so I don't get it grubby when I climb inside there. But let's roll this baby out and we'll take a look at it. Yeah, so it looks real good. So what we got the new wheels, of course, but we got the big brakes, and the tolerances, that's not uncommon, but you guys can see that, hey, that just clears. But yeah, so we got them big brakes. We got the Corvette rear, them 4 pistons in the back. We got that back dropped 1 inch. Looks good. And we got that transmission thing done. So now if a guy gets hot rodding it a bit and stuff, help with trans temps and stuff anyway. So, but yeah, so that's it. This was a nice project to work on. Some really cool stuff to do. I've never done, I mean, it is what it is. It's a brake job, but it's a cool brake job, right? So anyways, I appreciate doing that. And hopefully the old Pontiac, hopefully that frame and stuff, I can get that back sooner than later, because we'll get back on that. And this was a nice little project to jam in between there. Been meaning to do it for a little bit. So anyways, that's it for this video. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll just keep on doing stuff, keep on trucking. See you guys next time.